Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Now that riff you just heard in the intro there is one that I've used in quite a few videos, and I get quite a lot of comments asking me, what's the song, who's it by, is it John Mayer? Well no, it's not John Mayer, it's one of my own. Because I get so many comments about it, I thought I'd just make a quick tutorial. So here we go, I hope you enjoy. So at its core, this riff is just a 4-chord repeating pattern, and those chords are C sharp minor, G sharp minor, A and E. So I could just play it like that. Which is fine, it's a nice enough chord progression, but it's not very interesting like that. So what we're going to see in this video is how we can add a few little tricks around these basic chords to turn it into something much more melodic, something that then becomes like a song. So now let's break down how to play the full riff, starting with our C sharp minor chord, and it's going to sound like this. That's what we're playing over the C sharp minor chord. So first things first, normal C sharp minor chord like this, take off the little finger and it becomes C sharp minor 7, which is already a bit more of an interesting flavour. But then in terms of how we're going to add a couple of little tricks around that, firstly we're going to slide into it, slide into the root note from the 2nd fret on the A string up to the 4th, and then on the D string we're going to hammer on, but what I'm going to do is hammer on both of these fingers that make up the chord at the same time, but I'm only plucking the D string at this point. So we've got slide up, hammer on, and then all I'm going to do is pick the G and B strings together. So then we just played through a C sharp minor 7 chord, but with a couple of little added tricks, which makes it a lot more interesting. So our next chord then is G sharp minor. And if I add on what we're going to play over the G sharp minor to what we've already got, it's going to sound like this. Okay, so with the G sharp minor, same trick as with the C sharp minor, take off the little finger, which makes it a minor 7 chord. And then what I'm going to go into first is just playing thumb on the low E, and then these 3 fingers play the D, G and B strings together. So that lands us onto that G sharp minor chord, and then we're going to play a little kind of pentatonic-y riff, and it's going to sound like this. So hammer on 4 to 6 on the A string, and then 2 notes together on the D string and the G string on the 4th fret, and then back to that 6th fret on the A string. So all these notes are kind of in and around the chord, but we're just adding in, a couple of little tricks just to make it more interesting again. Okay, on to our next chord then, which is the A. And instead of just playing like that, what we're going to do is this. So in context, so what's going on here is if you imagine you played an A like that, you could also add on your finger there at the 4th fret to add the 9th in on the G string, but I'm just playing these 3 notes here, open A, 2nd fret on the D string, and then 4th fret on the G string. But then what I'm going to do is slide both these fretted notes up 2 frets. And then back down again. But as I play them the first time, I'll pluck all 3 notes, and then as I come back down, it's just the 2 fretted notes that I'm plucking. So on to our next chord then, which is the E, and all I'm going to play on that is like a normal standard open E, and just play it like this. So all I'm doing there, I'll play it with the A first. So all I'm doing is playing the E, D and G strings together, and then the B and E string after. Easy as that. So all together, that first part we've got. Okay, and then we go round the pattern again, but with a few very slight tweaks. So on the C sharp minor, we play exactly the same thing, and into that G sharp minor chord. Now, instead of what we played first time round, this time we're going to play a slightly different little pentatonic lick, which sounds like this. So it's 4th fret, hammer on to 6th fret on the D string, and then on the G string we're going to hammer 4th to 6th and then back off again in like a triplet, and then back to 6th fret on the D string. So in context, and it's just important to get that triplet rhythm in there right. So it's 1 2 1 2 3 1 1 2 1 2 3 1. So that's the C sharp minor and the G sharp minor. Then this time round, for the A and the E, what we're going to play is this. Okay, so for the A chord, I'm going to make a bar on the 2nd fret on the D, G and B strings, well, all the way up to the high E, so these 4 strings will be barred. And then what I'm going to do, 3rd finger on 4th fret of the G string, which makes it an A add 9, and then little finger on the 4th fret of the high E, which adds in the major 7th. So it's like A major 7 add 9. Really nice chord. And I'm just going to pick through that like this. So open A, and then the G, B and E strings. And then land on just a normal E chord like that, and I'm just plucking the low E with my thumb and then the 3 fingers on the G, B and top E strings. So all together, that second time round the riff is going to sound like this. So then right from the start we get Now, the only other slight variation I'll talk about is sometimes when I end with a chord up here, which looks like this. And what that is then is 3rd finger on the 11th fret here on the A string, and then a bar across the D, G and B strings, and then little finger on the 11th fret of the high E string. And then I'm also playing the open E here as well. And this is just a nice voicing of an E major 7 chord. So instead of, I can play. And I would just use that on the very last time to end the song. So I hope you found that useful. If there was anything that didn't make sense, anything I didn't explain properly, then just let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next video.